Okay, I'm gonna talk about Manel Cap versus Brandon Royval right now, and I need to remember that I have to be nice because I have my own opinions. Lately, it's really just been fuck flyweight, just because this division has been so bad, and the fights that they've been producing have just been so poor, and it's not a problem per se with the fighters in the division as much as it is that the division exists. I'm not really sure if that makes sense because the people who are problematic lightweights, whenever I say problematic lightweights, if you're a problematic lightweight, you're literally just a Makayev variant and you just shoot and you just sniff and you just lay and pray. Those people would get weeded out in bantamweight because they wouldn't be able to do that to larger fighters who are better at striking than most flyweights and have more stopping power. So, I mean, dude, I don't want to make this video into just some huge rant about how we should merge bantamweight and flyweight, but at the very beginning of the video, I will say that's exactly what the fuck should happen because this shit can't keep going on, dude. Like, what am I supposed to be excited for this, bro? We've been calling for Kape versus Pantoja for like the last 2 years. Maybe even like Car France versus Kape for like the last 2 years, excuse me. They're probably going to give Pantoja Car France at this point because this fight exists. But dude, this is not the fight that we want to see. We'll take it, sure, and it could be an interesting and fun matchup, but like, I don't really care. Alright, so my thing was this, right? Manel Kape, he gets into it with fighters at the hotel. He's a nasty guy. He'll call Izzy the F slur on the mic. He'll say that Izzy's whole teams are a bunch of F slurs, bro. But then, like, the Makayev fight will roll around, and then he'll have an opportunity to, like, actually show himself as, like, this dominant force that can't be grappled, and he'll just get grappled. So, I mean, dude, like, if Royval really just wanted to just wet blanket this guy, he probably could, to be honest. Because he does have the grappling ability of someone like... Maybe not the wrestling offense, but I mean, he's large, so he could control, I think. I mean, being so tall is probably a disadvantage for him as a grappler. And in the striking, I would say that Manel Kape has the boxing advantage, and it will be stark. But I mean, Brandon Royval has good output, and he lands like lots of light pitter-patter shots, and I could see this volume wearing on Manel Kape and stopping him from getting his hands going. The thing that Manel Kape has been encountering lately are just a lot of grappling-heavy styles on like packages of people who can't wrestle. So like these are literally, they're putting all of their 2K my player points into the grappling stat and they're leaving none for striking. So Manel Kape is just getting to do whatever he wants with these guys, and if he beats them up enough and just stuffs a couple of takedowns, he's literally fine, dude. For however long the fight goes on, he's literally gonna be okay, and he can just pick his shots from there and then score a finish on like Asu Almabayev or who was the other guy, Bruno Silva. So, I mean, those dudes, I feel like those guys would get weeded out so fast in bantamweight. I feel like if they merged flyweight and bantamweight, Bruno Silva and Asu Almabayev, they wouldn't even have jobs, dude. So, maybe it is a good thing that this division still exists. But as far as Kape and Royval goes, Royval, I'm just more of a fan of him in general, to be honest. I mean, bro, this guy's only real losses are, like, as of late, are to Pantoja and Brandon Moreno. And honestly, if you put Brandon Moreno in there with Manel Kape, I think that Brandon Moreno would probably win, bro. And in the rematch against Brandon Moreno, Brandon Royval won that fight by split decision, and that's a huge accomplishment. And just recently, he's off of fraud checking Tatsuro Taira. So higher profile fights, definitely Royval has that, dude. Royval has been having a lot of high profile fights lately with, like, people that the organization is either trying to build in the championship material by getting them to beat Brandon Royval, or like long incumbent contenders who have been like vying for a title shot, like Brandon Moreno, who are they just trying to put through one final test before they give them that title rematch. And then Brandon Royval has been stopping these guys lately. So I think that Manel Kape is going to be no different from a matchup, you know, like Brandon Moreno. Manel Kape's skill set, it's really just the boxing that sets him apart, to be honest. He does maintain, like, pretty decent power through the second and third rounds. But in this main event, I could definitely see Royval's cardio wearing Manel Kape down to the point where he can just get wrestled. And if it really does come to that, I don't really see this ending in a finish, to be honest. I think this fight does go the distance. But if it does, I definitely see Brandon Royval racking up a lot more control time than Manel Kape. Maybe even Royval wouldn't initiate all of the ground exchanges, and Manel Kape would try a little bit of wrestling too, but I doubt it. I think that he would just try to stay with the boxing and kickboxing, where he would be working for like himself. But again, one thing that we shouldn't do here is sleep on Brandon Royval's striking, bro. Because those knees and his long rangey like jab and straight punches, those are good weapons for him. And whenever he lets them go, like he did in the last round against Alexandre Pantoja, that was really good output. That was really good output later on into a fight. It looked like he wasn't even like very tired from it, to be honest. I think he did get taken down in that last round, but Pantoja's a different beast. That's a guy who I think would do well in bantamweight, to be honest. I think that Pantoja could probably fight Merab, and that would be an interesting fight. But both of these guys, this is our title eliminator. They're probably going to give Kara France the next title shot, and then one of these guys the next title shot after the Kara France fight is over. I don't really know what the whole point of this was. I've already expressed how I feel about flyweight in its relation to the higher weight class above it. I think they should just be one thing, to be honest, but whatever. I'm not really trying to split hairs too much here. I'm going to go with my boy Brandon Raw Dog Royval by a unanimous decision victory or a late submission, but honestly, I think we're just going to go with this, like the decision, to be honest. So that's going to be my prediction for this fight, you guys. Thank you for sticking around to this point in the video. If you did enjoy it, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I will catch you fellas in the next one. Have a wonderful day.